You can look at this day one of two ways. It's either the day before Valentine's Day, a day filled with love and pink and red, or it's Friday the 13th. You make your choice. Jamie Erdahl here in LA with Manti Te'o, Seth Rollins. Willie Colon is in New York with Kyle Brandt. I'm not going to make a Valentine's Day joke. Kyle, I like your sweatshirt today. Shout out to Sports Illustrated.
Thanks, always. Willie and I are sitting here before the show talking about the fact that Deion Sanders is on the soundtrack for the 1994 Street Fighter movie, something that I didn't know. And we're just all having all kinds of fun on a Friday, Willie. Wow. Maybe we'll talk about Deion's son during this show. We usually do.
We will.
And we try to make it positive. Seth and Manti and Jamie and Willie and Kyle, and happy Valentine's Day to all the lovely people out there. Let's start the show.
It. What's up, everybody? It's GMFB, everybody, on a Friday. Manti and I are admiring. Taryn is a lovely person that works on Good Morning Football. Taryn, and this is who inspired me. Zoom in on this. There's a Fred. Is that Freddy Krueger, right?
Michael Myers.
Michael Myers.
Oh, it's Jason. What's wrong with you?
It's focusing.
It's Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
There we go.
You guys.
I don't know.
Chucky.
Oh,
look at that.
Jason
Happy Friday the 13th. So like I said, you're either like this with the heart or you're like this with the scary mask, hockey mask face. Okay?
Jason? Sorry.
Jason Voorhees.
2025 season. It's wrapping up. Jamie, Manti, Seth, Kyle, Willie, we are going to call this segment Season in Review, okay? It kind of feels like the unofficial day that we can look back at all of this and appreciate what was. So we're going to fill in the blank. One thing of all the things that the group of us have talked about here on Good Morning Football, so much talking, Seth.
So much.
That exhale was loud. One thing that you will miss talking about from the 2025 season, Manti.
We try to stay neutral on our show, right? We have to represent all 32. It's a little harder for some of us who have some affiliations to certain teams in the past. But I was really rooting for the Niners, guys. I'm really going to miss, rooting for Kyle Shanahan, Robert Saleh, what those guys were able to do, despite all the injuries that happened over there in San Francisco, and it seemed like that an injury was happening every single day. There was a moment early in the season where their whole defense was filled with guys that probably weren't on the front cover of the depth chart to begin with.
We didn't want to hear from the insiders anymore because every time it was like another 49. I know, it's terrible.
Right? So for me, I'm really going to miss watching these guys over there from San Francisco ball out. Like, look at this. Like, these are all guys that you see on the cover of Sports Illustrated to the credit of KB's sweater. But the guys that made it to the front page of that newspaper for them were guys that were just on the roster grinding it out, and they grinded it out for the team. And then so I'm really going to miss watching this team play.
Shout out Tatum Bethune.
Yeah, there's no team bias on this show. Yeah, we cover all 32 equally, But this season, we needed to cover the Chicago Bears. Just a little bit more. But they were finally exciting, guys, for one time. Just one time they were so exciting. They were the cardiac kids, the cardiac Bears, cardiac Caleb, the Iceman. I mean, this season was just bonkers to be a Bears fan, but they became like the cool team in the NFL.
Yeah, they did.
They really did. I mean, it starts in week 4, right? They block a field goal to beat Las Vegas. And then Jake Moody in week 5. Jake Moody, who was not the Bears starting kicker this season at all. And it just keeps going on. There's a pass to Colston Loveland against Cincinnati. They pull one out against New York. Every single week, it seemed like down to the wire. They were not comfortable unless they were down 2 scores in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left to go. And every single week, it was some wild play, Manti, where they would just pull it out. And it was so fun to watch because you just didn't know what was going to happen. They were a team that went from last to first. I mean, they were the darlings of the NFL.
Yeah, real quick before Willie goes, what I'm really going to miss about the Chicago Bears was when Kyle would show those tweets on Monday.
Yeah.
That's what I'm really going to miss. I'm going to miss the Chicago Bears, those fourth quarter comebacks. But KB would come on this show and show those tweets from Chicago Bears fans on Mondays. I'm going to really miss that, Willie. What you got?
I got the Phillip Rivers story. It's something I didn't know I needed in my life. A 44-year-old washed-up quarterback. He inspired a lot of dads out there. For every dad who was a star in their high school career or in college, you sit on the couch, you're getting yelled at by the wife, or you got to wash the dishes, you got to take the kids out to play.
All right.
And every dad that's holding that beer and sandwich in their hand, gaining a pound by the minute, and he's looking at his jersey on the wall, looking at his trophy. And then here comes Phillip Rivers, the great white knight. Think about this Colts team who was 7-1 at one point, the hottest team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Danny Dimes goes down, and their season absolute spirals. And they call on 44-year-old, the old gunslinger Phillip Rivers. And I'm saying to myself, man, I don't know if he can get it done. He plays the Seahawks. He's up 16-15, 47 seconds left in the game. All he needs is one first down to beat the now Seattle Seahawks, who are Super Bowl champions. He doesn't get it done. And by the way, he didn't return for numbers, right? His story didn't end in confetti. His story is about belief, resurgence, and saying why not at your old age, man. So the Phillip Rivers story was something that I fell in love with. And I don't know what his future holds, but he was something interesting to watch.
Lost every single game he started. Considered one of the great collapses in NFL history. I think that thing's aged terribly. I think they should start Riley Leonard.
Himself.
I really do.
Seth doesn't start
I honestly do.
chuckling.
Like that, the Phillip Rivers thing was just makeup on the greatest collapse we have seen in a long time. Like he didn't win a single game. They had Riley Leonard there. He comes in at the end of the season, looks great. Why would you not play him? We got so taken with this Phillip Rivers thing that we're like, guys, they keep losing. This is a huge collapse. Yeah. I can't stand it. And by the way, it's
not always about the confetti, KB.
It is about the winning, I think, in professional sports. By the way, but here's what's funny about this. The Phillip Rivers thing, the other thing that it did was, so he came in at 44 and like, oh, he's still playing. How about the fact that the second he played, like no one gave a crap that Flacco and Rodgers were playing anymore?
Mm-hmm.
This was a really cool thing. Rodgers is 42, Flacco is 41, and you would have thought that they were a couple of rookies just because Rivers came in. Do you remember when these guys had a shootout? I called it the Icy Hot Bowl. It was 33-31. It was electric. Combined age of 83 years old. So fun to watch, and it was just like, this is the one that inspired me.
What?
These guys are mid-season, not like just coming in at the end of some crazy collapse and kissing some babies. I like this one way better. They put up numbers. They went back and forth. Rodgers and Flacco. Are we going to get them both next year? Flacco just made his first Pro Bowl. Who knows? I don't know, but this is the one for me, Jamie.
And this one coming off of the fact that Flacco traded mid-season and Mike Tomlin is straight up like, why would you do that mid? And then they go out and have that shootout. So Tomlin's like, see, I told you, don't do that business in the division. Enough of that. I think it was a Thursday night game, even, the Icy Hot Bowl. So, for example, I think, if we were just kicking around ideas, Kyle would say the one thing that he doesn't want to talk about anymore that he's sick of would be the Phillip Rivers thing, whereas Willie would love talking about it. Okay, so let's pull at that thread then. Manti, 2025 season, the one thing that we talk too much about, / you never want to talk about this thing again.
Yeah, I don't want to ever hear about or talk about Justin Herbert getting hit the most in the NFL. I don't want to hear
Careful.
it. I mean, come on, Joe out should be back. Rashawn Slater didn't play a snap. He got hurt on the first day of training camp. I don't want to see this quarterback getting hit, and you got Coach McDaniels in there now. If you watch how Coach McDaniels draws up these plays with Tua, the ball was coming out quick. So I hope the ball comes out quick because I'm very hopeful. I told KB and I told Mike G, my MVP vote, even though I don't have one, is Justin Herbert going into next season with the offensive coordinator that he has. So that was a storyline, Seth, that I didn't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about in the future, and I hope we never have that conversation again, Jamie.
Manti, you bring up a good point. Kyle, early odds that the thing that you don't want to talk about again in 2026 is the Harbaugh-Mike McDaniel press conference situation. You think that you're going to be over that pretty quick?
No, I like that. Jamie, absolutely not. I like that stuff. It may get old fast, depending, but right now I'm totally fresh on it. That's like the weirdest pairing ever. I'm completely into that.
Okay.
That won't be my answer. I have a better answer.
Just trying to anticipate our annoyances here.
Yeah, I want to see how that relationship develops as well. That could be an interesting tag team. You know what I mean? They got a lot going on there. They got a lot going on. But on that, I do want to. I'm with you, Manti. I would love to see. Can we just get the best of Justin Herbert?
Yes.
I just want him on his feet so we can get the best of it. That's what I want. I'm with you on that. But for me, the thing I don't ever want to talk about ever again, I want to put it to bed, is the tush push.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Put it away. We could have put it away 3 seasons ago. Be done with it, all right? Make a decision on it. Either it's going to stay, and this is just how it's going to be. Figure out how to officiate it properly, or just get rid of the thing. Just get rid of it. Just shut up about it. Either it's a part of the game or it's not. I think it's not. I think it's a joke. I think you can't officiate it. It's terrible. You've seen multiple teams try it, multiple officiating crews not be able to figure out whether it's false starts or offsides or whatever. It's a joke of a play. Get rid of it. Get it out of here. No, let's stop talking about it. Be done with it. I'm so sick of it. I'm over it. I'm over the two.
It's annoying.
Good job.
Go ahead, Willie.
Yeah, I'm over talking about Shedeur Sanders. He clearly can play quarterback in the NFL. There's been so much talk if he's competent, if he's capable. Listen, yes, he finished the season 3-4. He had the big game against the Titans, threw for 364 yards, 3 touchdowns. But we've seen him get better with every start. If you're Todd Monken going into this offseason, how I would handle the situation, the quarterback situation that is, I would name Shedeur Sanders my QB1. And I would tell him, it's yours to lose. Now, when it comes to Dylan Gabriel, I would tell him, hey, man, you want it? Go beat him. Deshaun Watson, I got to see if you still got it. You haven't played him forever. Thank God the legal issues are behind you. But I would allow this competition to have an even start. We all know all these quarterbacks on the roster are capable of playing. Now, who wants it more? We used to have a saying in Pittsburgh, and Mike Tomlin used to tell us all the time in reference to competition, I got 1 bone and 2 dogs. Who wants to eat? It's time for one of these quarterbacks to step up. I think it's Shedeur Sanders. Put all the nonsense behind. It's time for the young man to grow up and allow him to grow up.
Wow.
KB.
What a mess that sounds like, though, right?
So
when you
many
just laid it out
quarterbacks.
like that. It's Shedeur, Dylan, and legal issue. I'm like, oh, my God, did Todd Monken just resign already? That sounds like a mess. The ancient scrolls of the NFL, wherever they're stored in Park Avenue or NFL films or whatever, they must be preserved so that historians and the generations that follow us can always remember Jarrett Stidham Week. Never forget Jarrett Stidham Week, in which we turned Jarrett Stidham into Joe Montana. And we spent an entire week saying that he was going to go to the Super Bowl, nay, maybe even win the Super Bowl, because he had been in Sean Payton's system and he's been a backup for years. And the Broncos wanted him in free agency. And then the game starts. He threw one really nice deep pass. And then the Broncos, were walking around with their shoelaces tied together and punt, and failed 4th down. And, what I don't like about that then and what I don't like about this now is that Jarrett Stidham is, by all accounts, an excellent guy and teammate. And it wasn't his fault that we turned him into Peyton Manning meets Patrick Mahomes over 7 days. And if you don't believe in Jarrett Stidham for 1 second, you're a jerk and you're too negative. I don't know, guys. He looked a lot like a career backup quarterback to me, and that's just fine. It was a weird week where you had to be positive about him. You said anything, even doubting that Jarrett Stidham would put up 40 points. You were negative and you were naysaying. You don't know Stidham. It was a weird week and a weird game, and it ended quickly.
Kyle's like the buoy of reality that we need on GMFB. He's shouting out the rest of us. Yep. All right, those were topics from both ends of the emotional scale. Now, one thing, speaking of those scrolls that are housed in NFL films, one thing in the 2025 season, Manti, that you will never forget.
I'll never forget. There's certain voices, right? You have Michael Buffer, you have John Madden, that when they say something, it just hits a little differently. And I want to go back to when Eric Collins, the play caller for the Charlotte Hornets, was calling a Carolina Panther game. Oh. Watch this.
Yes.
Handoff on 2nd down. Look at this! Dowdle still on his feet! What an afternoon for Rico Dowdle!
That's the best kind of color commentary that you need. I just imagine when you hear that, it takes me back to those days where you could just listen to the game on the radio and you could just picture everything based on the guy's voice. Shout out to Eric Collins for doing that for all of us in that game. Dowdle!
Yeah.
You don't have to be there to even experience it. Just listen to Eric Collins call that play, Seth. That was that one moment.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I don't even want to try it. My voice is going to crack. I'm going to lose the whole thing. Man, this was tough because there's a lot of really good moments. I was thinking maybe the Bad Bunny halftime show. That really had me emotional. And then I was thinking back to our Christmas Day game, all of us getting to hang out. That was a really
fun
nice moment. But what really stuck with me, and I think what's probably going to stick with me for the rest of my life, is being in Chicago, in Soldier Field, with my dad and my brother for the Chicago Bears playoff win.
And they gave you a microphone, Seth?
Yes, they do tend to do that occasionally. People put me in front of a microphone with people, and I get to go crazy a little bit. But yeah, I mean, being in Chicago for that game in my lifetime, it was probably the biggest Chicago Bears win. And for me, the biggest part of that was I was able to get my dad out of the house, which is a task, and get him to Soldier Field to see the game. It's the first one he'd been to in quite some time. And, he's not a guy that's very mobile. So for him to be getting up and cheering and slapping hands and having a great time, I mean, that was pretty special for me and my family.
Awesome.
That's a good one.
Awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. For me, it's Week 18, Steelers versus Ravens, AFC North, for the playoff, for the division. And I think about that last drive, right? Chris Boswell missed the kick. Ravens go on the field. I'm looking at Lamar Jackson drive down the field, drops a dime to Likely. 14 seconds left on the clock. They roll Tyler Loop out there. And this is for it all, right? This has all the fixings. This is the juicy Steeler-Raven rivalry, and it's wide right. And I remember thinking before he kicked his ball, I'm saying the Steelers are done. This is the end of Rodgers. Yeah. This is all over. I'm about to have a panic attack. And when he missed it, I jumped up so high, I almost passed out. My wife ran in the room to give me some water. I almost hit the damn carpet because I thought it was over, KB. I thought it was a wrap. Yeah. That's something I would never forget. So this year, even though the Steelers didn't make it, I get it. That's why we got next season. Nevertheless, man, that's going to make me sleep comfortable at night.
That was incredible. And I like that you bring up a Week 18 to end the season because I'm going to Week 1.
Okay.
So I'll make this a bit of a communal answer. We're standing in Lincoln Financial Field. It's Eagles-Cowboys. Football is back. It's a really incredible atmosphere. Prime time. It's a beautiful night. The Cowboys are in town. We're getting towards kickoff. They're playing Gonna Fly Now, the Rocky thing. There is a damn eagle, a bald eagle, flying around the stadium and going onto that Wrangler with the leather glove. And it's like, here we go, kickoff. And for some reason, there's flashbulbs, even though nobody had cameras anymore. It was a really magical atmosphere. And 2 seconds later, Jalen Carter spits in Dak Prescott's face. Oh, what the hell? He just got ejected? Do you remember how weird this is? Let me remind you. On the opening kickoff, the Cowboys return it, and on the Cowboys kickoff, there was a serious injury on one of their special teamers. So the game stops immediately, and then in the interim, Jalen Carter, who was like the biggest star on the Eagles defense, walks up to one of the faces of the NFL and a Walter Payton Man of the Year and just spits on him before the first snap. And there he is being walked off by Big Dom. He's ejected, and we were standing there on the field. We're like, hold on, people are saying Jalen Carter's got ejected. We haven't even played it down yet. It's 6 seconds into the game. And that was like the most inauspicious debut. And maybe it was a harbinger because that was a weird NFL season we just had in a great way. Really weird, really strange, up to and including the Final Four and the quarterbacks and all that. Maybe we should have known that the second the Eagles' talons landed on the leather sleeve, the spit landed on Dak Prescott. And I was like, we better buckle up for the 202025 season. It's going to be nuts.
Mm-hmm. We actually, Manti, Kyle, and I, as he said, we did the whole show from Philly that week. We were on the field longer than Jalen Carter that night.
Yeah.
Like that, we actually,
way longer.
We actually walked up the tunnel. They forgot we were down there. And finally
Kyle got us ejected from the field. Okay?
Did he spit on somebody?
We were on the field. The kickoff happens, and we have a pass that doesn't allow us on the field. But we're like, oh, they don't see us. So we're trying to blend in with everybody, right? It happens. Jalen Carter is being escorted off the field, and I'm like, where's Kyle? Kyle's standing by the tunnel trying to, look to see. I was like, Kyle's going to get us caught. We're going to get caught.
He did.
Sure enough, not only did Jalen Carter get ejected off the field, we get ejected too. It's like, why are you guys here? We're like, oh, Kyle got us caught. Dang it.
I'm a member of the media, Manti. I don't know if you know that. I'm a media member. I know I'm all this nonsense and stuff. I needed the story. And then, by the way, Big Dom helped us out, and he got us, into the cool area where we can have sushi and stuff. So it was a happy ending and all that.
Thank you,
Big Dom.
That don't sound bad at all.
That was really good sushi. Exactly. Shout out Big Dom. All right, that was the 2025 season in review. I'm sure our memories are just going to keep flooding here on the Friday. But the message here is the next is here. The NFL Combine presented by Microsoft Pilot, where a dream that starts small can get big and a name that's unknown can become the future. Next is here. It's the 2026 NFL Combine. February 26th through March 1st on NFL Network, streaming on NFL Plus. Subscription required for NFL Plus. Visit NFL.com. Visit plus.nfl.com for terms. Manti, what else we got going on Major
Visit
today?
all of it, Jamie.
Just go
Visit
to a
all of it,
website.
because we're going to revisit what the Seattle Seahawks did in the Super Bowl. It is Friday. It is Aloha Friday, so that means it is a major Friday. That was major. Is coming up. We're going to cover some of the things that the Seattle Seahawks did to the Patriots that led to the Super Bowl victory. Kyle, what else we have?
Another
Well,
website.
the Bears knocked the Packers out of the playoffs. That's actually something that happened. It still feels surreal. And Seth Rollins has a message for both teams as we head into the offseason. But Jamie Erdahl, look alive. I'm going to show you some photographs. I want you to identify the photographs if you can. Go ahead. There we go.
Tuukka Rask, no. Freddie Mercury, no.
Jason.
Freddie the 13th.
Tuukka Rask.
Michael Myers, Seth
about
Myers. Who else?
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins.
It's about to be Seth Rollins. You don't figure out who Jason Voorhees is.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Jason Voorhees. Right. If you know Seth Rollins, you know that every week he has a 3-word message that varies for the Chicago Bears. And those 3 words are either I love football or I hate football, okay? But Seth, here's the challenge.
What do you got?
We need you to have more words as we make it pitch black in here for the following teams. We're going to tee you up. We have to push you and we're challenge you. But beyond the Bears,
yes,
more words.
Let's go.
And let's have them either understand whether or not you think they should be hating football after 2025 or loving football. All right?
Let's find out.
All right, you're like I'm going to pull your string and then Manti, you're up.
Manti, give me a team. Let's go, baby.
All right, Seth, this team dethroned the Chiefs. I'm in the darkness.
There we go.
The Chiefs at AFC West not only won the West, but earned the top spot in the conference. They beat the Bills in the divisional and looked poised to grab a spot in Super Bowl 60. But a Bo Nix broken ankle derailed their chances. Seth, how should the fans feel about the 2025 Denver Broncos?
Oh, my goodness. The Denver Broncos. If I am a Denver Bronco fan, I love football. I love it for so many reasons. One, you took down your dreaded nemesis. You mentioned it, the Kansas City Chiefs. They were out of the picture. Didn't have to worry about them. You win the division. You win the conference. You're the team to beat. And you are this close to going to a Super Bowl with a second-year quarterback in Bo Nix. But then you have an out. You have an out because Bo Nix didn't get to play in the AFC Championship. No. You had to turn it over to Jarrett Stidham. I'm sorry, Kyle. I had to bring it up one more time. And you lose the game, so you have an out. You're going 3rd year under Sean Payton. You're rebuilding, but you're ready to win now. And you've got the confidence in your squad that this close, if I got my starting quarterback, we will take the next step. We will be playing in the Super Bowl in no time. So if I'm a Broncos fan, absolutely, I understand the heartbreak, but I love football. That was an easy one. Come on, Willie, give it to me. Come on, baby.
Seth, this team had another successful regular season, securing yet another winning season. Their playoff run was halted by the Houston Texans. Following the game, head coach Mike Tomlin stepped down. He has been replaced by Mike McCarthy. Does this mean Aaron Rodgers comes back for another season? Seth, how should they feel in the Steel City for their beloved Pittsburgh Steelers?
Willie, you're the Steelers guy. You should be answering this question, but I'm going to try to put myself in your shoes. Now, look, as a Steelers fan, you're always eternally optimistic because the Steelers are always good. But the Steelers always have one thing. They have Mike Tomlin. And now that Mike Tomlin has stepped down from the head coaching responsibilities for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I hate football if I'm a Steelers fan. I hate it, man. I hate it. What are we talking about here? We're trying to run the Packers back from 20 years ago? What is going on? There's no plan for the future. There's barely a plan for next season. What is happening? And I don't even have Mike Tomlin to depend on to at least get me to 500 and to lose a playoff game. So I hate football. I'm sick of it. If we would have started fresh, started new, started young, felt like we're going in a direction for the future, I'd be like, oh, I love football. There's optimism. But now here I am, and I'm in this death spiral with Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy again. What universe are we living in? I'm telling you, I hate football. If I'm a Steelers fan, I hate it. I hate it.
Okay. All right, Seth.
All right, Kyle,
are
bring
you
it to
ready?
me.
This
Bring
one
it
is
to
just going to be a straight fastball, all right? Right down the middle, and you just hit it out of the park. But I'm going to talk to you about 2 fan bases.
Oh, 2 of them.
I want you to address right now the Bears and the Packers. Go.
Oh, my gosh, 2 fan bases? Oh, man. Well, look, if I'm the Chicago Bears, I love football, and I am the Chicago Bears. I am the Bears, and I love them because this season we are playing with house money. All right, nobody expected the Bears to come from worst to first. They win the division. They beat the Lions. They beat the Packers, and they win a playoff game. They were this close to going to the NFC Championship game. I mean, the Chicago Bears, they did it all, especially starting from 0-2. But if I'm the Green Bay Packers, do I love football or do I hate it? Because this was a different season for the Packers. Because every single year the Packers beat the Bears. And this year they lost to the Bears 2 out of 3 times. So do I love it? Do I hate it? That's a tough one. I'm going to say, as a Green Bay Packer hater, I love football.
Wow.
I know. I'm going to defy expectations here, but let me talk to you about it, okay? And I'll tell you, I'll give you one reason, and that's number 1, Micah Parsons. That man is a game changer when he is on the field. Now, I mentioned the Bears-Packers rivalry. The Bears lost to the Packers the first time they played, and that's because Micah Parsons was wreaking havoc. He was wreaking havoc on Chicago. They had nowhere. They had nothing, and they got beat. And if Micah Parsons is healthy, which we all expect him to be next season, and the Green Bay Packers are young, they are well coached, they are hungry, and now they've got a rival to compete with in that division. I hate to say it, guys, but if I'm a Green Bay Packer fan, I love football. Let's go, guys.
Seth, well done. Seth, well done. Seth, in true GMFB fashion, you thought you were going to have 3, but I'm going to tee you up on one more.
One more, let's go.
Do you have it in you?
Yes, I have everything in me. Let's
can do 32.
it up.
Do the Patriots love football or hate football right now?
Patriots hate football. Patriots hate football. What do you want from me? Of course they hate football. They hate it. I mean, they just lost the Super Bowl. They win it. Look, the Patriots fans, they're a special breed, all right? You've had a level of success that no other franchise has ever had. The last 20 years, it's been win, 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 win. So there's this expectation that you're going to go to the next level and you're going to win. Even Drake May, we got it. We're the Patriots. We always win. That's what we do. And then you lose, and you lose bad, and you're still reeling from that heartbreak. And I know it's Valentine's Day, and you want to feel love, but you just feel like you hate football.
Oh.
Bravo.
So the Patriots have Jason Voorhees. Is that his name? Voorhees?
Voorhees. Jason Voorhees.
Yes. Yeah.
Please,
That's how
God,
they feel
get
about
it right.
Hey, all right. Seth, well done. Very good. How you feeling after that?
I feel fired up.
Is that cathartic?
I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Let's run through the wall. I want to do it again.
Let's do it again.
Let's do
we
it
got
again.
16 other teams that we got to cover. Moving on GMFB. Stop it. Who's that? No.
Oh, come on. You
Freddie,
know that.
that's Freddie.
Freddie Krueger. There you go.
There we go. Freddie.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Elm Street.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Look
32.
at him. Look at him.